Hi everyone, welcome to today's video on how to create a site group, also known as a multi-site. And we'll be going on to talk about how to create a single site or multiple single sites within a multi-site. Okay, let's get ready to begin. Now obviously we use site groups for apartment complexes, mobile home parks, university campuses, orchards, vineyards, etc., etc. Basically, we have one large parcel that we want to break up into smaller ones. You can see some of these parcels can get very large. Here I'm going to be using this one as an example. And one thing to keep in mind is when you're drawing your multi-site, make sure to include the host tree that you're planning to trap for within that. Okay, without any further delays, let's go ahead and get started. So first, you want to go to Manage Sites. And you can see that there's, to create a single site, that is if you're going to use this entire parcel as a single site. Most sites are single sites for that reason. Modifying that single site, if you want to make changes to that. Create a site group, and that's the initial part of creating the site group, and modifying that site group if you want to add more sites to it later. Now, if you were to delete a site group, you want to go to modify a single site, but we'll get there in a little bit. Let's go ahead and create a site group. Click on Select Parcel. You'll be prompted with a message to say to select a point on the map. The parcel is going to turn red. Go ahead and click Next. You're going to be prompted to draw the site. Click on it. You'll be prompted to draw a polygon on the map. So this is the new parcel line that you'll be including. So let's say I'm interested in this home with this tree. So I will be drawing the property line like this. Once you're at the end, double click and it will finish drawing the polygon. Once the polygon's finished, you're going to see it's highlighted in yellow. On the left hand side, under site details, you're going to be asked to give a site group, a site name, and then I think the rest of the information here is pretty familiar with everyone. The site group will name the entire property. So let's say this is like Glenmore Mobile Home Parks or Glenmore Estates, right? You can name it that. The site name will be the actually name for this site itself. So this could be Apartment A, Mobile Home Trailer 101, or just Unit 101, whatever you wanted to name it as. Okay. Now, I will do this intentionally. I'm just going to name this as Test, and I will leave everything else blank. And I'm going to go ahead and save. You're going to be returned with an error, and you can see that it says site group name is not valid. And then site type and permission is also required. The reason why this site group name is not valid is somewhere for this county there's already another site group named Test, so we can't use that as a name. It has to be uniquely different. Okay, so I'm just gonna name it as this, and I'm gonna call this Unit 1. Fill out the site type. This looks residential. Permission, go ahead, given, and go from there. A trap is marked as viable if there is a host tree that we will be putting onto that site. We'll go over that in a little bit. Go ahead and click Save. Site saved successfully. Okay. So now what you have created is a single site within a multi-site. Okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to add a host tree to the site. Click on Manage Hosts, Add Hosts. Click on the location in which you want to add the host. I'm selecting this tree right here. Okay. Select the tree category. Common fruit tree. Select the type. I'm just going to put grapefruit. Go ahead and save. New hosts successfully added. Okay, so now you have a tree and a property, and then that stays with that. If you want to add another one, go to Manage Hosts and repeat the process. Next, I want to show you a rare instance in which the tree is outside of the property borderline. you can create a multi-site to handle this as well. So let's go and add another single site to this multi-site. Click on Manage Sites. But instead of creating a new site group, because this site group already exists, we'll just modify the site group. Notice how it says site group name has been listed. This is where you enter the unique site group name earlier, so it's important to kind of know that. Select the parcel. Click on the parcel again. It will be highlighted in red. Go ahead and click Next. Click on Draw Site. And let's say I'm going to be using this site right here, and I'll be using these trees out here. Okay, so I will draw this box. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Double click. Site group now has the same name. Site name, I'm going to call this Unit 2. Site type, residential, permission given, and we're going to save. Okay. Now for this site, we're going to add a host tree and add a new host location, and we're going to click outside of the property line right here. Select tree category, and let's call this an avocado tree. Save. Okay. And there, you can see that we have done this. Now, let's go back really quickly, show you how to remove the host trees and these sites. All right. Go to Manage Hosts, modify the host, click on the host itself. And well, I see. I didn't isolate it enough. Let's go to Manage Hosts, modify the host, click on locating the host, click on it. There you go. Now, if you want to relocate the host, you can do it here. Click on Relocate Host, select the new point in which you want it to relocate to, and go ahead and save. And you can see that it moved. Okay. Now we're going to delete it though. So let's close this. Manage hosts, modify hosts, locate existing hosts, click on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to deactivate the host. In a previous video, we've explained that deactivating a host means that from this instance on, the host will no longer be active in the database. However, the trap history will have this tree saved for historical purposes. In case you wanted to know, how many avocado trees were trapped in the past, this will be included in that data. So we didn't want to use the word delete for that reason, because that meant like it would just wipe it out of existence from the beginning since it's been created, which isn't true. So terminology is kind of important here, and that's why we chose this word. Let's go ahead and save. We've deactivated the host. Okay, and the host has been deactivated. Next, we're going to be removing the site here. Now, one mistake that we often see is that people would jump in to modify a site group. Remember, to modify a site group is only to add another site, a multi-site to the group. But since this is now an individual trapping site, you have to go to modify a single site. Okay, select the site, click on it. Then here you can edit the information if you need to. But in this case, because we're deleting, we're going to uncheck the is viable. Same logic behind the tree. Once you uncheck it, this trapping site is no longer viable. Now, one question that we have received in the past is, well, since there are no trees on this site, why didn't it just delete itself? Why do we have to go through this extra step to delete it? And the answer is, we've also discovered that while people are editing sites, sometimes they want to delete a tree and then add another tree, meaning they want to still keep the site viable. So if it automatically deletes itself, that might be a little bit frustrating, because then you have to go and recreate the site again. So it's kept there for that reason. Anyways, uncheck is viable. Go ahead and save. site update successfully, okay, and you can see that it's gone. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the next host removal and site removal really quickly with less explanation so you can kind of see the workflow. I'm going to go to manage hosts. I'm going to modify the host. Click on locate existing hosts. Click on it. Deactivate the host. Save. Okay. I'm going to go to manage sites. I'm going to modify a single site. Select the site. Click on it. Scroll down. Uncheck is viable. Scroll down. Save. Okay. Now, once the last site site has been removed from the multi-site, the site group name that we had earlier, site group test, has also been deleted. Okay, so if you have at least one, it'll still keep the name. So otherwise, it's gone. All right, that concludes the training portion for site groups. Thank you.